Fundamentals. Friday Fundamentals. Today we have a very different webinar which is talking on corporate social responsibility, but not in the traditional ways where the corporates pay for education or any other routine procedure. We have today 3 reformers who are making a great way for this corporate social responsibility. Social responsibility is first in that, because you will see that in all the 3, the beneficiaries are very different people, and that is what is the uniqueness of today's webinar, which is on CSR. Today we have 3 speakers. The first one is Ms. Chaitali Das. The second speaker will be Dr. Mahantesh Kivadasannavar. I hope I have pronounced the name correctly. And also we have Dr. Prasenjit Sen. We will start with yes. We'll start with Chaitali Das, internationally acclaimed jute revivalist and a social reformer. Chaitali Das is the prestigious Guinness World Record holder for the largest jute bags in the world. 30 years in philanthropy. She is a former Mrs. International, a social icon of the year 2021 by Economic Times and HRD India. Times Power Woman, Philanthropist, Social Entrepreneur 2019, Social Entrepreneur of the Year 2018 by ABSME Bangalore. She is the Global Chairperson and Managing Trustee of Rakshak Foundation. Her contribution to gender equality, prison inmates reformation, and social inclusion, reviving eco-friendly jute conserving environment, has earned her a number of international and national awards and recognition. She is the first ever Fortune Most Powerful Woman, US State Department alumna from Bengal, have been the part of Fortune Most Powerful Global Women Mentoring and Partnership Program in Washington, DC, Fortune and US Department South Asia component in Kathmandu. Chaitali has led the first ever Indian all-women's delegation to China, first ever delegation representing an Indian non-profit civil society organization in 2 consecutive years to China. She has advocated and promoted jute in various prestigious platforms in countries like US, China, Netherlands, Canada, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, Dubai, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand, to name a few. We are very happy to invite Chaitali Das to make her presentation. We will take the questions at the end. Chaitali, welcome to Bombay Management Association, and I request you to start your presentation.
Thank you very much, Madam Kavita Lagate, for the introduction. And I'm really very, very privileged to be here, and I'm happy to be in the panel at Bombay Management Association of Jamnalal Bajaj Management Institution. So this is again, thankfully, to the virtual world that we are connected, no matter what, the indomitable spirit, and it helps us to stay positive and stay connected wherever we are across the all geographical border. So sure. Yeah, so we are here and it must be
I think the voice is breaking.
I'm here to share my thoughts about the issues. Yeah, is it better?
Yeah, now better.
Okay. So I'm here to share my thoughts as we are paused at the crossroads posed by the unprecedented pandemic. And it's needless to say that it is all about rerouting, resetting our direction and priorities and goals. As we know, 2021 is declared as a decade of action by the United Nations and SDGs as the guiding principles for our future course of action. The objective is to address three dimensions of sustainable development: environmental, social, and economical, for us and our future generations ahead. This pandemic has created the need for us to relook the world with a new lens. We have to make sure that we make the most vulnerable communities resilient for crises like this, and maybe in future. In any such disaster or calamity, it is the poor and the weak who are hit hardest. They are the most vulnerable in terms of exposure, sensitivity, and adaptability. In such a scenario, the government sector, the business houses, the corporates, everyone need to come together and they need to invest in building resilience of the nation, health, equity, and environmental protection need to be given the highest priority. It is really very, very important for all the stakeholders globally, nationally, regionally, locally to come forward and contribute towards the common goal. So with this, when I'm talking about the decade of action, so I have shared my screen. I hope it's visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Thank you. It's not going to the next. Yeah, so as I was mentioning about the decade of action, and we all know about the Sustainable Development Goal. So we know the 17 goals, so which actually I'm going to touch upon the real life stories, the projects that we are doing aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal. And I'll just touch base and share with you as I start with the UN Secretary General, who has proposed 6 climate positive actions for the governments. So it's here, it goes as it is. The green transition investment must access the decarbonization of all aspects of our economy. Number 2, green jobs and sustainable and inclusive growth. Number 3, green economy, making societies and more resilient through the transition sustainable and inclusive growth. And number 3, green economy, making societies inclusive. I could see that my internet is unstable. But anyway, these are the glitches and the challenges where we have to go through. So Youth Story Beyond Bars is a project of Raksha Foundation, which I'm heading there as a managing trustee. Jute, the golden fiber, which can weave hope into lives. It can contribute to the well-being of the environment and human life and to a world of new aesthetics and beauty. Now, Jute Story Beyond Bars is a flagship project, which I just mentioned, which is a unique effort to revive jute of India, creating diversified jute products of international standard, as well as to reform prison inmates into artisans. So the image which you can see is inside the prison, and the artisans that you could see here are the prison inmates. This is specially done to harness their creativity towards progressive trajectory. Now it is operational at the Dum Dum Central Correctional Home and Residency Correctional Home in Kolkata since 2016. This is targeted to reform and encourage social inclusion of prison inmates by changing the general perception of the society about the prison behind the tall wall confinement, the stigma attached to the prison inmates. So we have to realize one thing, that this
Chaitali ma'am, your voice is severely
they have families too. It's very than internet, I guess.
Chaitali. I think she got disconnected because of the network issue. We'll wait for 1 minute.
She has again featured back. She's on mute, apparently.
Yeah, is this better now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Professor Chattopadhyay.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so now this is the golden yarn that I was talking about, that's jute, and which is harvested. And India is the largest producer of jute. And there are around 45 lakhs of people, artisans, small and medium-sized entrepreneurs are dependent on this jute, which is a durable, reusable, and which is an alternative to non-biodegradable. That's plastic, single-use plastic or hazardous material. So now this project actually gives both ways. One is reforming, converting and transforming the inmates, prison inmates, giving them the work and engagement, and encouraging them, harnessing their creativity, their talent, and at the same time reviving jute, which is again our indigenous product. Right now that across the globe, people are conscious and concerned about plastic. I've been to a couple of places across the globe, and I have seen that how people are conscious and they use eco-friendly bags. They don't use plastic. So we have an issue adopting jute bag immediately because plastic is so easy. It's transparent. It's lightweight. Anywhere we can just chuck it out and block the drain or anything. We can choke the pet, the dogs, or even the pets around. But we don't care. It's not my lookout because it's very easy and convenient and I should be doing it. But yes, thoughts are changing, especially the new generation, the students, they are realizing it because right now they are championing the cause. Many institutions, many organizations, including educational institutes who are working with us as interns, the students come from various organization institutions, reputed institutions. They work with us, they champion the cause, and they are becoming the ambassador. They are teaching their parents, their elders, not to use single-use plastic, how convenient it may be. It's becoming a lifestyle. It's becoming a very, very regular lifestyle with us. If anyone who is well-dressed and wearing dignified attire, and if that gentleman or a lady who's carrying a single-use plastic, I'm sure that it looks very, very, it doesn't go with the profile, right? So I think we are very conscious, and it's very soon that we are going to absolutely eliminate the single-use plastic. So one is this, that about the jute, and now what we have done, because it's in prison, I'm sure a lot of students will be asking them, ma'am, what next? So we haven't stopped here, only just making jute. We have targeted to set, make international standard fashionable jute, apparels, jute, you can name it like a portfolio bag, maybe a Gucci, maybe any other brands. So we are trying to replicate with jute. We are mixing jute with cotton. We are mixing jute with other fabric, and we are making something very stunning. I hope I could show you. I think we don't have the slide right now. So we have participated in various international, national exhibitions where we wanted to showcase the fashionable jute apparels and the trendy products made by the prison artisans. We had been to SARC, BIMSTEC, and across the world in many places and in different platforms and exhibitions to showcase jute of Bengal. We have also had the opportunity to give to very, very eminent worldwide personalities jute products, just to showcase and making people conscious about using more and more jute. But yes, again, I would like to mention that I'm not into business. There are business fraternity because there are 68 jute mills. Maximum they're located in West Bengal. I don't own a mill. I don't run a business. I don't have a shop, but I have my artisans and I have ideas. I have beautiful associates and who have fantastic, phenomenal ideas. And we all create and we co-create together some amazing saris, pillow covers mixing with Banarsi and Katha work. So this is what we are targeting actually. So next, I would like to come to the next slide. I hope I can go, but I guess I'm again stuck, but I'll find my way. Yeah. So this is where I just mentioned about the jute. So, you know, the apparel, the sari, the lovely models are wearing. So these are made out of jute. So we have combined that with Gujarati work, and the bag the models are carrying. These are very trendy, and I'm sure the students must be liking them. Yeah, even it is used in corporate. So we use it as corporate gift, regular use, and it is for all age. So that's a reason. So we have actually made, this is a finale, which was actually with Indian Chamber of Commerce and reviving.
We are unable to see your slides.
Oh.
There is a green button, share screen, which you may use.
She has not shared. That is the problem. She has to share this screen.
At the bottom, there is a green share screen button, arrow.
Oh. Is it visible now?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's visible.
Okay. So I just mentioned about the models wearing.
If you can make it as a slideshow, the picture will be bigger.
Okay. Where is the slideshow? Okay, got it.
From beginning. From beginning. Oh, also from that.
Okay, I think that's not happening. So maybe.
Okay, great. Correct. Continue. No one.
Yeah. So this is again jute. So where I just tried to make a collage and to showcase that where internationally we have showcased, and we have made jute uttorio for the delegations who had arrived in Calcutta, the other Chinese women delegation. That was in SARC. Okay, so next, the journey, it continued with a floating store that was given by the Honorable Mayor of Kolkata. And this was a boat store. So we had a store on water, and we had someone, actually a woman who is visually impaired, and she was helped by her son. So they were managing the store. So they were the store manager. So that way, actually, it empowered inside the prison as well as outside. So that's a little story where the prison minister is there, where I'm gifting him a jute curio. It's a terracotta, which is framed in jute. And of course, the Chinese Consul General is also receiving the same. So these are actually various ways of actually promoting jute. Okay, now I'm coming to something very interesting, and which is amidst this pandemic, in the month of November 2020, we ventured Heritage Tram, which is named Patrani, which is a store on wheel. Patrani means Pat is jute in Bengal, and Rani is queen. So we just mentioned that it's a chief queen. So where you can see that it's a mobile store, and which is an extravaganza. We have converted the tram. We did a makeover to the tram, which is again a heritage vehicle. So both the tram and the jute, so these are actually environment friendly. So we just combined both together, and it was a treat to the people of Kolkata. So this was a tribute from Rakshak Foundation and from my side. And we wanted to present that how jute can be used. So we have just changed the upholstery of, and we did the decor inside the, the cartons, the rugs. So those were spreaded, and then we made a small store, which a little picture, which is visible here. Okay, next we have done a project called Shakti. Shakti is a project of 20 women. Now again, coming to jute. So many people, while buying, and when Honorable Mayor was there, was inaugurating the store in the floating store at Patuli. So he recommended something to us. That Chaitali, since it's so difficult for people, to buy a jute bag, which is a little costlier, immediately to make this kind of, adapting this in our regular lifestyle, it's difficult. Why don't you come up with something which is very, very reasonable for people, and it should not pinch them to buy. So the bag should be, like within 5 rupees. That was really challenging. You can understand that at 5 to 7 rupees, it's just the costing, stitching cost. So how can I make this? But then again, we were just, thinking about it and some ideas, and wanted to go ahead, taking this up as a challenge. Then we came up with the idea, like, why not let us take our upholstery, the old upholstery. Every household, every family will be having upholstery, cartons, some dupattas, so which can be washed properly with, of course, we do have the washing machine. Most of us are having washing machines. So it's easy actually. So we did that. We converted that and gave it to this cluster of women, of 20 women, which they are in Alipur. So they have flexible timing. Some of them are a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, or a mother and a daughter, or a sister-in-law. So they would just come, with their flexible timing and stitch those lovely bags, and which we thought we were selling the bags at 10 rupees. So this is again a reuse, recycle, and reduce. So yeah. So this is Shakti, and the next we have come to yeah. The next one is later in 2021, in the month of January. Again, we have not stopped. We have COVID protocol restrictions. We are unable to go to the correctional home, but still we thought that we will be making a buzz. We are going to create a noise. We would like to attract the global audience to the Indian jute. Now, how to do it? You have to make it something large, make it something big, right? To get the attention. Well, today I'm actually getting all your attention because most of the time I am actually caught up with the glitches and with my insufficient knowledge about and I'm not tech savvy. Anyway, so this is on the positive note that we wanted to make something very big, and we made a Guinness World Record by making the world's largest jute bag. And this was done by a group of very, very energetic men and women who are in distress. Some of them are released prison inmates. Women are from the domestic, domestic violence survivor. One of them was an acid survivor. And of course, some males were there who have lost their job because of the pandemic. It took us some 17 to 18 days, and we had a great time. All of us became a team, a group, and we really made this bag. It's not me only that I have ideated, but it is the group of people who came together. Somehow I believe that if we have the right intention, the support comes from unknown places. And I was very, very astonished that there were a lot of people who just came forward to support me during that time. And we made it amidst this pandemic, challenges, protocol, and so many other factors. And this gives us a lot of confidence. that yes, if we have the right intention, we can make it. It shows that how determined you are. So God will make you, with a lot of challenges to check, are you really determined? Are you really ready to accept the challenge? And here it goes, we made the Guinness World Record. So I would like to conclude with a 5-6 pointers, because right now is a time that we have to get back quickly and build our community, our society, and which is very important, that economically we have to be sound. We need to be skilled. We need to be self-dependent, and we need to cater, and we need to support each other collectively. So I immediately recommend that blending economic, environmental, social factors, which is required for maximizing the value, the key areas in which both investors and organizations need to work in order to maximize the impact of the blended values, which are corporate social responsibility, social enterprise, social investing, strategic philanthropy, and sustainable development. Of course, I just mentioned that skill is very important. Vocational training, technical training, life skill, financial literacy, which are required for women, particularly to help them develop employable skills and better decision-making abilities. The corporates, the big companies, the business houses may also invest in women entrepreneurs through microfinance and bring their goods and services into supply chains. Now, gender equality is not an issue. It's both moral and economic imperative. Targeting sustainable and inclusive economies, the women should be also coming forward to contribute. So thank you so much for showing this slide. I just want to mention that how we have, since everything was locked down, and how we wanted to, actively participate, we wanted to be beside the needy. So this was the first thing when we collaborated with Kolkata Police. And when we were just told that particularly, can you help the sex workers, the elderly sex workers? I said, yes, we are there. So we collaborated with police, the rickshaw pullers, and the vulnerable section of the society were given ration for 15 days. That was the initial time. So this is the picture which is actually showing on the screen. And of course, I'm not able to. Yeah, so this is one is a yes. And the second wave, when we wanted to support the Sundarbans, particularly in West Bengal, who were the most affected. And we have sent them the ration, which best we could. We also started with this Ghar Ka Khana, because many families who were actually not able to entertain their maids, no domestic help. So we were actually we have, I think, catered some 4,000, 5,000 meals with the Ghar Ka Khana and oxygen concentrator, which we had just given to Ramakrishna Mission. So these are the little things that we have done, whatever best we could. And thank you so much, in spite of all the technical glitches and my inability for that, and because I'm not tech savvy, bearing me and listening to me with patience. Thank you very much, and stay safe, everyone. India is having no dearth of talent. We just need to nurture and nourish. So stay well, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chaitali, for your very compassionate ways in which you have been serving the society. It's great work that you all are doing, and our compliments to you. And please stay with us. There will be questions that will be posted to you. So be with us. Thank you. I'll invite now Shri Prasenjit Dutta, who is by profession an engineer, a project coordinator, a business development manager and design reviewer.
Excuse me, I have something else at 6, madam. If I can finish and leave.
Okay, so you will speak first. Okay.
That was a plan.
Prasenjit, is it fine? Okay. We will. I invite Dr. Mahantesh Kivadasannavar, a social change agent, disability leader, and a role model. Through his efforts over the last 20 years, he has positively impacted the lives of thousands of persons with disabilities. Overcoming challenges presented by his visual impairment, he has leveraged his determined academic accomplishment and MA MPhil in English literature, traveling around the world to raise funds for his myriad projects, from the World Blind Union Conference in Geneva to the World Blind Cricket Council meeting in Cape Town and UAE, London, etc. From the DAISY conference in Germany to centers around the USA, Dr. Mahentesh has articulated his belief to all those willing to listen. Founder, managing trustee of Samarthanam Trust for the Disabled, the former president of World Blind Cricket Limited, and the President Cricket Association of Blind in India, the Aryabhatta International Award in 2009, and the National Award for the President from the President of India for the Child Welfare in 2010 and 2014, he and his team have successfully hosted the first ever T20 World Cup cricket for the blind in 2012 and the second T20 World Cup in 2017. Samarthan Trust for the Disabled, a national award-winning NGO, is a registered trust working for the empowerment of persons with disability, especially persons with visual and physical impairments and underserved people since 1997. Samarthan aims to provide opportunity for persons with disability and underprivileged community in India to keep pace with the rest of the society by facilitating quality education, vocational training, placements, and rehabilitation. We are very happy to have you, sir, today. And I request you to make your presentation. And if you are in hurry, maybe we can have some questions for you. And then maybe we can have the third speaker. Sure. Thank you.
Madam, thank you very much. Let me first thank BMA for having me, and hearing from my earlier speaker, I think it's very inspiring, fighting against preventing hazardous plastic use. I think it's really commendable. I've just gone through a few works of BMA. It's quite encouraging. So thanks for that lovely introduction. And I'm so sorry because I had to leave at 6. So I'll keep my speech very short so that I can take more questions. So I think today I'm asked to talk about how CSR has helped us to bring light to cricket for the blind. So I'm sure you all know, those who have been following cricket, mainstream cricket, how mainstream cricket evolved in India and abroad. Prior to 1983, the status of Indian cricket for men, how it was, and how it kept changing once India won the World Cup in 1983, and subsequently India hosted the Reliance World Cup in 1987. Subsequently, multiple channels, sports channels coming into our country, 92 and beyond, and 96 again hosting the World Cup in India, and brands entering into endorsing the cricket. It has completely changed the perspective of cricket. So blind cricket in India started in 1990 when I myself was playing and played first 4 national tournaments. Unlike mainstream cricket, we don't get that kind of endorsement, that kind of support. But still, whatever Indian cricket for the blind, we give a lot of credit to the benevolent support from many companies. 2010, when Samarthanam took over the responsibility of managing Indian cricket for the blind. Prior to that, it was managed from Delhi. So we were asked to take over the responsibility. We had very clear strategy in mind. Those days there was no CSR, but still we knew funding from corporates only can help us to do something. So initially we started approaching a lot of companies and also governments. So slowly we started getting little support. With that we organized small tournaments. In 2012, we got the hosting rights of hosting rights from World Blind Cricket to host the first T20 World Cup. We decided to host it in a grand style, give best of the facilities to international players and our own cricketers, selected best of the Indian team, conducting various tournaments. Fortunately, our team also won the first T20 World Cup. I think that gave a big boost. That gave us a kind of recognition. I still don't say we are completely recognized by BCCI or Government of India, but there is some kind of awareness to them. They know that blind cricket exists and they have endorsed, they have patronized and supported. But it's not been easy. The journey has been very, very difficult. So because whenever we went to companies, they always said, wonderful initiative, we love to support it, but our CSR policy doesn't support. We don't want to take mileage out of blind cricket. These are some of the responses we get. But out of so many we approach, never say die spirit, because that is the lesson we learn from sports. So one company comes forward and starts supporting. That has been a fantastic experience. 2012, we must have approached at least 500 companies. I did travel to Mumbai, met many companies because for cricket, Bombay is like Kashi. So it's just like a temple for cricket. So many companies did respond, but financial support did not come as much as we expected. After 2014, when CSR bill was passed, we did push blind cricket to many companies. But most companies' priorities are not sports. Most companies which consider sports as priority, for them, cricket is not priority. Because you know, in India, cricket means BCCI is such a rich sporting body in the world. They can take care is what everybody has that understanding. But that is not true because BCCI has its own constitutional challenges. Though they want to support, Constitution doesn't allow them to support. So we are requesting them to look at amendments and all. They are exploring that. So, but thanks to some of the companies who understood the importance of cricket for the blind. Like Madam Chaitali mentioned, cricket is one means or medium for us to empower people with blindness. Through cricket, we try to bring out their innate talent, hidden talent, and give them opportunity to play cricket like others, go to different places, play in best of the prestigious grounds. Whenever we hosted World Cups, we gave them chance to play in grounds like Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, Eden Garden in Calcutta, Wankhede and Brabant Stadium in Mumbai, Green Park Stadium, Firozshah in Delhi. And even when we took this cricket team abroad, I got them playing Ovals and Lords, Trent Bridge and Edgbaston, and New Orleans in South Africa. And when our team went to Pakistan, they played in Lahore Gaddafi Stadium, National Stadium, Karachi, etc. So for me, a cricket maniac, listening to the names of such stadiums itself gives me goosebumps. And when we go and play there, when you put your foot on the lawns of such grounds, the kind of inspiration you get, the emotional feelings you get is really immense. So I profusely would like to thank some of the big companies who have supported blind cricket, like IndusInd Bank and State Bank of India, ONGC, and many others who have contributed. But a lot can happen. It's just at a tip, I feel, long way to go. And one from CSR angle, you can't really push too much branding. You can't spend too much on tournaments. But keeping some of the important acts by law, like there is a UNCRPD, United Nations Act for Disability, Rights for Persons with Disability, RPD Act, Rights for Persons with Disability, Government of India, Sustainable Development Goal. In all cases, a lot of importance is given to the needs of people with blindness. But companies and all, they really don't care about all this law. You need to have people who can support, who understands the feelings, who should go slightly out of the way and support. I feel more companies should come forward and support us to organize more tournaments at different levels. Could be state level tournaments, could be national and international tournaments, sponsoring our cricketers to go and play abroad, and also help us to organize various training programs, not only for men cricket, even for women cricket. I'm sure many of you would know Indian blind cricket team is the only blind cricket team which has won all formats of championships in the blind cricket. In the last 10 years, we have defeated Pakistan in 4 finals, 2 T20 ODIs, sorry, 2 T20 and 2 ODI World Cups and Asia Championship. Many bilateral championships. Honorable Prime Minister invited the team and felicitated twice. Our ex-captain received Padma Shri, a civilian award in recognition of his contribution for the country. And our vice-captain got national award. So some of our cricketers could get jobs for having played for the country. Some states like Kerala, Orissa, Haryana have made it a rule. And we could push and get some cash prizes also to them. So I feel very proud. Cricket for the Blind, we used it as a medium to propagate the positive side of blindness, the talent side of blindness, the ability side of people with blindness. So we continue to do this. I request BMA to help us to reach out to more companies to get support so that we can extend support to more visually impaired, both men and women, to play cricket. And also at school level, we want to introduce blind cricket and take it to Northeast and many other states. For now, we have 30 states associated, empaneled or affiliated with CABI, Cricket Association for the Blind in India, which is a sports arm of Samarthanam, independent organization. So we continue to work hard and reach out to more people so that every visually impaired in India, if he or she wants to play cricket, they should get a chance to. I request you all to go through YouTube videos where you get to know how blind play cricket. There are some minor modification, keeping the needs of accessible part of visually impaired. So Samarthanam is a parent organization which looks after non-sporting requirements for blind people other than cricket, like education, skilling, and employment. So that after they stop playing cricket, their career should not end. They have to live long and live gainfully, meaningfully, who should get employed either on their own or work for some companies or banks or with some government. So this is the whole purpose of blind cricket. So using this platform, I'd like to thank the organizers of this event and also thank those companies who have supported us and look forward for more companies to work with us, because 2022, we would be hosting the 3rd T20 World Cup. If this pandemic was not there, we would have organized the 3rd T20 World Cup beginning of this year. Hopefully, we'll overcome the pandemic. And you can imagine the situation of blind cricketers during this pandemic situation is very deplorable. Many have lost jobs and they have not got salaries. Those who are working in government and banks, they're all taken care. But rest of them, we could give little support only. We wish to give more support to them. Yeah, so I think let me just conclude by inviting you all to visit Samarthanam. We have branches across, including Bombay. In whatever way one could like to associate, let's work together, make our visually impaired people become taxpayers of the country so that they become assets, not liability. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahantesh. It's so touching to listen to your story. And also would like to know, other than cricket, also you provide support for other sports?
Yeah, we do support, madam, because we encourage sports for people with intellectual disability, people with blindness, if they want to participate in athletics, throwing events, track events. And we have a team which is into marathon and ultra marathon, people with blindness. we provide them guide runners.
Hello.
Yeah, so though cricket is our main focus, we do believe in supporting other sports.
Okay. I will request Ernest Fernandez sir to give his comment. As Mahentesh has to leave, we can ask questions to him right now. Fernandez sir?
Yeah, it's been a very inspiring story. And since I worked in Tata's, I remember in those years that Tata's in Bombay House used to have some blind telephone operators for many years. Then I remember in St. Xavier's College, there's a professor who's blind and who's been there for over 25, 30 years. One of the best professors in St. Xavier's.
Yes.
It's only latterly that I've been hearing about cricket teams, blind people playing cricket, which I thought was a fantastic achievement. But I was wondering, how exactly is that game played? Could you tell us a little more about it?
Yeah. So we use audio ball, sir, which makes rattling noise, and we bowl underarm.
Oh, I see. Okay. Achha. So that's how you judge the ball.
Yeah. So we bowl underarm, and the first bounce has to be before the middle of the pitch. There will be a center line marked exactly the middle of the pitch. First bounce has to be before that. And there are some bowlers who bowl almost 130 km per hour, quite fast. So, yeah, it's
that's wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Kavita, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir, please. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, is this instance of blindness in India coming down or it is rising?
I feel it is coming down, but middle-age blindness is increasing, sir. Because of various reasons like retinitis pigmentosa and other diseases which are causing. But blindness by birth, I think, is reducing because many blind schools have started using numbers in their institutions, and some blind schools are getting closed. It's a good sign.
Because we at the Rotary Club, we were associated with National Association of Blind in Mumbai, which had done very good pioneering work years ago. I have no idea where they are today and how active they are, but we were closely associated with them. They have their own building in Worli in Mumbai.
Yeah, Worli CFS.
NAB, National Association of Blind. Yeah.
Correct, sir. Yeah, it's quite a big organization in Bombay, and they have branches across. So Worli, yes, is their headquarters.
Yes.
Sir. But Dr. Rajendra Vyas, who was
yes, sir. He was our honorary Rotarian, and his brother was our founder of our Rotary Club, Dr. J.T. Vyas. So that's how we know. Dr. Rajendra Vyas himself was blind, and he done wonderful work actually.
Correct. He was a very dynamic person. So people say after he passed away, maybe he became little down, but yeah.
Any other question if we had?
It was great listening to you, Dr. Mahantesh. Very commendable and very touching, as Kavita ji rightly said. And kudos to you for all your wonderful efforts.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mahentesh. Nice to have you at the BMA platform, and hope that the activity that you are doing will benefit many who need it, and the support from the corporates will come to you for serving them better. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Ma'am, I have a little proposal to Dr.
Yes.
Mahentesh.
Yes.
Dr. Mahentesh is doing wonderful work for the underdogs of society, so to say. And it's really inspiring to hear from him. I have been dealing with the real dogs, the animals. I have a proposal to Dr. Mahentesh to consider using Indian dogs as guides for blind people. That would really increase the image of Indian dogs and prevent cruelty towards them and human hatred towards them. I would really like Dr. Mahentesh to please consider this.
Excellent, sir. Very good suggestion. Definitely let us explore. I'll take your details from Madam and we'll stay in touch. Take it
Sure.
off. Definitely explore this
You're
possibility.
welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank
We
you,
will
sir.
share the details, contact details maybe. Mahentesh, you can take it from there with Prasenjit ji. And if two organizations of very different nature collaborate, I think that collaboration itself will be a unique way of meeting the objectives. And we will be very proud of initiating that collaboration. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Prasenjit, for your the suggestion.
So, and whenever we have a tournament in Mumbai, I would extend invitation to you all so you can come and cheer the teams.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I may leave if you permit.
Yes, sure, sure. All the best. Thank you. So we have Prasenjit Dutta, who is a professionally engineer who has been working in the industry till 2016. And he writes that it's his profession and the passion. And the passionate portfolio, he is mentioning that he is a founder, creator, administrator, former secretary of Pashupati Animal Welfare Society, an animal NGO at Kolkata. And he's a life member and activist of People for Animals, PFA, the NGO which is chaired by Honorable MP Srimati Maneka Gandhi. And the society works for the initiating interventions and legal actions on the cases of cruelty against animals. He has conceptualized, financially modeled, created, and supervised the operations of Pashupati Animal Welfare Society, PAWS, an NGO formed and registered in 2016 under West Bengal Societies Registration Act. Working against the extreme financial odds and the pressure of professional work, managed to bring the fledgling organizations from an initial annual turnover of 9+ lakhs in 2016 to 22+ lakhs in 2021, depending solely on marketing of animal welfare activities at the NGOs, animal treatment shelter, and attaching private individual donations from thousands of people. He has been functioning as an activist for People for Animals, the NGO, initiating interventions and legal actions on the cases of cruelty against animals. Up to 2019, he has functioned as Honorary Animal Welfare Officer of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. With variety of portfolio, he has now focused on his passion since 2016. And you could see the passion when he initiated a proposal to Mahentesh about using the Indian dogs as the companion for the blinds. I'm very happy to welcome you, sir, Prasenjit Dutta, and thank you for accepting our invitation. I request you to start your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been an absolute privilege to be here with BMA and very esteemed people all in the audience. And many thanks to Mr. Indranil Ghosh, without whom I wouldn't have known about this brilliant organization, which brings managers and consultants together on one platform. So to start with, I'd like to really appreciate what Chaitali madam has done. And she has focused on the downtrodden people and their upliftment through jute. And Dr. Mahentesh has worked for the underdogs of society. Now, I'll talk about the sentient beings about whom very few people think about, even for a second in a day, and how on the one side, our NGO, which has functioned from 2016 with the kind help of so many private donors, and our governing body members who have worked so hard to bring sort of my dream to action. I had conceptualized this, but from all have gone into it. And I am thoroughly indebted to all who have actually built up our society and to support the ailing and suffering animals on the street. And we have always focused on how animal welfare is basically dealing with human welfare. And today in a presentation, I would like to highlight how corporates can come to the aid of animal welfare NGOs who are literally starved of money all the time. And there is too much to do and too little money around. So I would also like to stress what the corporates are going to gain from it. So shall I start the presentation? And with a voiceover that I'll narrate so as to make the reading of the document easier. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Hello, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right. All right. Now, give me a second. I should first hit the share screen button, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, can everybody see the first slide?
No.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. No. Yeah, can anybody see the first slide?
Yes.
Can anybody see the first slide?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yeah. See, winning more customers is the prime target of any corporate in these challenging times. That's how I begin with the presentation. A CSR activity is the key to win hearts of customers. Lots of corporates indulge in CSR. So what will be your edge over them? So let's think of a subject that bugs the new India. Invest in CSR for welfare of street animals and win the hearts of 50% of India. Animals Matter to Me, AMTM, run by Tata Trusts, does it. So can you? The post-COVID scenario, all industries have been hard hit. Drastic reduction in spending capacities of individuals and governments is the reason, basically. But what about the lifestyle choice of individuals? Can that ring bells in cash registers? It does. Restaurants complying with COVID safety are again booming. Love for animals and environment is also a lifestyle choice of millions in the West and in India. Tata Steel rose to fame with individual house builders and competed against other steels since the 80s with their CSR for community development and welfare schemes, as if they were a mini government of Jamshedpur. 50% of India wants the stray animals dead and gone. 50% of them want them to live in good health. Now, in June 2020, scientists have actually expressed that stray animals of India have substantially from the first onslaught of COVID-19. Let's see how. That's the link that anybody can search on the internet. And the heading are Stray Dogs, Cattle, Helping Us Put Up a Stronger Fight Against COVID-19. A search on Google on this subject will actually show you the research that has been submitted to WHO. Corporates can keep stray animals healthy and ensure safety of humans. That's two words served with one stone. But welfare is expense. Gains come later. How to earn from welfare? Is it ethical at all to earn from welfare? Yes, it is, if the earning is a byproduct and welfare is the motive. Tata Steel said it in the 80s. We empower women, we generate self-employment of the handicapped, we run hospitals, we promote childcare with emphasis on the girl child, We also make steel. That was in much finer print. And how does that appeal to the buyer? Corporates can run shelters for old and crippled stray dogs and cats. And cattle can pay for their upkeep. If only you have the right technology to harness the power plant of cattle they carry on their four legs. And then India could be free from cells, free from leading unfed and diseased lives. They could lead free and healthy lives at shelters. Shelters could be hygienically maintained at pockets within urban and rural communities. As discovered by science, they can still continue to provide protection against various zoonotic diseases to surrounding communities. But where do cattle come in? Including CBP, compressed biogas, that's refined methane, that allows industries to earn from cattle without harming them. Refined methane gas from dung. Methane replaces diesel in bus engines at a cost of less than 50,000 rupees. On 1st April 2017, a company called Phoenix India Research tied up with Ashok Leyland to manufacture the 54-seater biogas bus at a cost of rupees 13 lakh approximately. And they were definitely not fooling anyone on the All Fools Day of 2017. That's the bus. 2017, that's a news headline on the net. Kolkata to get India's first buses running on biogas. You search by that heading on Google and you will see the article. I said buses running on biogas fuel started live from March 2017 onwards. I have seen one bus like that. The first buses was between Kolkata and Varia, a 17-kilometer stretch for a ticket rate of only ₹1. As per reports, the ticket fare for these buses was so low. The low fare is the result of high fuel efficiency of the buses, but crazy overcrowding caused the service to stop. How economical was that? The buses can cover a distance of 20 kilometers on a kg of biogas, which costs around ₹50 per kg as on today. Delhi too had these buses in its pipeline in 2016, but the plan was dropped because of electric buses. Well then, why not? The methane gas was still a gas, not a reality until now. What could make it real? Countrywide network of cattle farms producing dung, just a small fraction of that land for the gas plant. Now it's even better. Not only dung, but any organic waste basically can be directed to methane. Where would the cattle come from? The country has thousands of dairy farms. Cattle older than 3 or 4 years from dairy farms go to the beef market and to the industry. Poor calf often go to slaughterhouse at the tender rate of less. These businesses could be harmed. Some might say that. Let's see if they really would be harmed. New technology changes businesses. Alternate businesses develop when new tech comes up. Email and mobile phones have caused some businesses to shut down, but many more new businesses have come up around mobiles. Things have changed. Change is the most permanent thing in life. Methane would make the life of cattle more valuable than their meat or skin. It's just the initiative that is required to use technology to make the best out of living cows. Of course, the cows have to work for their living. What would they work? Some will have to produce calves, produce milk in a natural way without booster drugs. The calves would get their share of mother's milk. Milk is required for human babies and aged. So the cows will serve humanity and still have a life on the green grass. The fun. Oxes will also have to work in 4-hour shift per day, which is just a joke for such powerful beasts. They will turn mills similar to oil mills of 30 years back. Instead of the grinding stone, there would be a turbine that their labor will turn. Battery banks will be charged and powerful lights and fans can be supplied by inverters to houses around the farm. The rest of the day, they can eat and produce dung for the methane plant that none will mind their bullshit at all. What will they do? The humped devils, the bulls, they will also eat and deliver valuable bullshit for the methane plant. They will serve the cows when new calves are required to be born. Gone will be semen banks. Everything will again be natural. The bulls will again be worshipped as Nandi and will lead gentle lives as gentle giants instead of being beaten and tortured on the streets of India, where they wait for food or plunder the veggie shops, getting acid poured on them for their crimes. None will be sold to the beef or leather industry. All would die natural deaths at the end of their normal lifespan. They would work up to the last breath to produce dung for the gas plant. Beef and leather market would have short supply and raise their prices, making artificial leather more attractive. Pure shift in economic priorities would save the cattle from a life and death, both filled with cruelties. Let's look at a small scale of how it can happen. In every village, there can be a cottage industry of methane gas. Each farm of 50 cattle can produce 100 cubic meter of gas per day. That is 2 cylinders of cooking gas having 10 kg gas in each. Or 10 families having 5 cows, each can collect enough dung to run such a plant and can share the profits of selling such cylinders within the village. Now, the business plan looks like this at a very elementary scale. 50 cattle, cost of feeding for milking cattle, rupees 1,500 per month. That's rupees 75,000 for 50 cattle. Sale of gas, 2 cylinders produced per day for 30 days. That's 60 cylinders of 10 kg each, may be sold at rupees 46 per kg. That's rupees 27,600. Sale of milk at rupees 10 liter per cow per day and rupees 80 per liter of milk. That's 7.2 lakhs straight per month. Net earning comes to 6.7 lakhs. So that sounds lucrative. Now, if we produce in more bulk, then who will buy the bulk gas? Look at this expression of interest by Hindustan Petroleum Corporation. See this UI from HPCL to biomethane, compressed biogas, that's CBG, EOI number CBG24, dated 1st July 2020. So that's the reality of the business. And how does an animal welfare NGO come in? They can implement this project for a corporate. The NGO can form a technical cell to undertake liaison with the technology provider and implement the project using their skills. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm stopping the share. And I suppose in a small time span, I've been able to put across the idea of how corporates can really benefit in terms of social image through CSR, as well as offset some of their costs or even earn, depends upon the business plan finally settled upon. So I shall be willing and ready to deal with questions that any corporate may come up. My contact details are all with BMA, and maybe please share with anybody interested to take on this project. I shall offer my services as a consultant.
Thank you. Thank you, Prasenjit ji. And I'll request if raise hand if you have question. In the meantime, I will request our executive committee member, Shri Indranil Ghosh ji, to offer his comments.
My question is, first question is to the Chaitali Das. Is she there online?
Yes, yes, she is very much there.
Okay. I have two questions, one for Chaitali Das, other for Prasenjit. Yes, Madam Chaitali, are you there? I'm not getting any response. I'm not sure whether she's there or not.
Chaitali? She was there.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask Prasenjit straight away. Prasenjit, say your proposal
Yes.
definitely lucrative, and definitely as a, not only as a seer or even as a business proposal also, many businessmen will try it. At least they will try to see the feasibility of it. Definitely it is a good proposal. But I have a little bit of reservation, you know, because you are talking about biogas. Biogas not necessarily methane. Along with this, other things will also come. But it is a greenhouse gas. That means it directly it is hitting the global warming. So how when we take care of planet, when we take care of environment, how it can be feasible? Actually, we are basically talking about going to vegan. So not only meat, egg, fish, we should stop eating, and we also stop drinking milk. We are thinking of going towards vegan, so that not only animals will not be tortured, but also these greenhouse gas will be taken care, natural greenhouse gas, which is coming from the animal husbandry industry. Yes, Prasenjit, your views on that, please.
All right. Yeah. First of all, the methane gas issue about environment, that has been adequately taken care of by the technology providers, Mrs. Phoenix, who have done extensive research on that. And Dr. Jyoti Prakash Das, who is the head of that organization, is in close touch with me. He has done extensive research in the USA and formulated design and started implementing in India since 2017. So he's and it all what is required is to have adequate safeguards against gas leakages. And if there be any leakages, the leakages should be quickly and efficiently. There is always a plan for that. And that should fears of environmental pollution and greenhouse gases being released, etc. Now, coming to your next question of why the milk issue that I have mentioned when we are trying to go vegan. Now, being into animal welfare from 2016 and parallelly in my profession as an engineer, which I have very recently quit and started a small business of my own related to animals only. And I have studied the subject of veganism in very great detail and reasoned it out in my mind, turned it over and over in many ways. I find that veganism sounds very good, but it appears to me, my personal opinion, that it's a global fad. Because I can imagine that animals will have no utility at all on this earth if total veganism takes place. Not a single human being will allow a goat or a hen even an inch on this earth if it doesn't have economic value to humans. Humans are absolutely selfish animals. So unless we turn all humans into saints, I don't think veganism is ever going to succeed. Opinions vary and opinions become very heated on social media, wherever I've expressed this. But I would request all to consider this reality. If everyone becomes vegan, what will happen to the cows and the goats? They will plunder the fields of crops that we have, and humans will die hungry. Either humans will die hungry with no grains left for them, or the animals will all be slaughtered and finished.
Who's dropping? What? Who's dropping? Nobody.
Mr. Host, Indranilda, have I answered the question?
Yeah, Mama will pick me up at 7. Okay. But for now, I will.
Yeah. Thank you.
You took this bag. This was the tea I got.
Ma'am, please mute everybody. Please mute everybody.
Yes, muted. Okay, so it's about the vegan diet. We just had in 2 weeks back someone who climbed Mount Everest, and he claims to do it with vegan diet. And that time also we had discussion about this, that how this vegan diet is going to help. But your perspective, which is helping the animal, and how do we take these very different ideas about the diet that the humans are consuming. So the very nice comment that you have made. And no, I don't think the full world can go to one extreme and the another extreme. So animals will always be loved, and we know many people who love dogs, cats, horses, and things like, and animals like that. My question is, there are some animals who are low maintenance, who are high maintenance. The domestic pets that we used to have, like cats and dogs, their maintenance also have become now very, very expensive. And when you are talking about the CSR and taking care of animals at a large scale, what do you feel about about these thoughts that I am just expressing about the domestic pet, their maintenance, which was some 10, 20, 30 years back, and now with fancy food, fancy parlors created for them, and the need of taking care of stray animals which need more attention and love for them.
Yes, ma'am. Point taken. I'll explain what I do about the expenses of pet animals. I teach people how to do grooming on their own and how to maintain their pets at a very economical level, and that will be very beneficial to the pets as well. There are marketing techniques used by various foreign companies to sell their products of grooming, tonics, etc., etc. But very few pet owners actually do a study, and a lot of study material is available on the internet in knowledgeable websites of what your pet really needs. What your pet really needs is adequately supplied in terms of packaged foods by Indian companies. One such company I represent at my pet shop, where I am seated right now. This is my pet shop, my retirement business after I quit my job. I represent Drools, and Drools has foods available for cats and dogs, even birds, at every level, suited to every pocket and suited to every breed, suited to every age of pet. So Drools is taking over the Indian market now for pet foods and pet accessories, pet tonics, supplements, because during the COVID times, import of foreign-made pet products are becoming a bit rare, and people are also feeling their pockets pinched during COVID. People are shifting to lower price products, although veterinarians are not so convinced as yet about Indian products for reasons that everyone can guess. Foreign companies meet the veterinarian doctors very frequently, whereas Indian companies don't do that, because Indian companies are exporting that food to many countries across the border. So if the Indian population gets misguided by doctors and opts for foreign food, the Indian producers cannot really help it. They're surviving on exports. So it really depends upon the pet owner to become convinced and opt for Indian products and become Atmanirbhar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, can I make a comment, Kavita ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
I agree with Prasenjit ji, because I think veganism is the fad of the rich. If you really analyze the diet which this Everest climber had shared, that diet will cost something like 20,000-30,000 rupees a month for one person. If you try and buy plant-based proteins, they're awfully expensive. I think 500 grams for 1,300 rupees or something. So I never commented on that earlier, because it's, unless you're a climbing Everest, you have to spend that sort of money. But for regular life, we have been used to drinking milk every day, a cup in the morning or cup at night, and our children have grown up on milk and things like that. So what he said is absolutely correct. We do need milk and milk products, but then whatever the what you call the remains are there from the animals, they have to be converted into some sort of a wealth, and waste has to be minimized. So biogas we are using in a Shirwal plant for heating ovens, and we are using dung as well as the small twigs which are compressed into cubes, and we are producing biogas at the fraction of a cost. Plus our plant is independent. So biogas is a brilliant idea. I don't know why we are shunning it in the favor of electricity, because it has to be generated through fossil fuels or solar energy and so on. But biogas is a very, very doable in villages. And look at the wealth that Amul has brought through milk. Amul itself is worth 50,000 crores. And similarly, we can have many Amuls in our country. Protein deficiency is a very major issue in India. So how are we going to give protein to our children so that their mental growth and physical growth takes place? So I think this whole idea of generating wealth through biogas at a local level is a very, very wonderful idea. And I think it requires promotion, support. And maybe our marketing students in management schools should help them market this idea. I have only one quarrel with you, sir. That is, you have assumed the selling price of milk at 80 rupees in your business plan. That seems to be a bit high. We are buying milk at 50 rupees in Mumbai.
Oh, I've mentioned the costs that we have at Kolkata.
That's it. Because no, that shows your revenue very high. So I think this sort of, you know, I mean, but I don't think anybody will be able to sell at 80 rupees at farmhead. 80
no,
rupees
the
is
nitty-gritty,
what you call pride of cows at home delivered.
No, I agree, sir.
So I think that much money one cannot make, but I think still you can make reasonable money. I mean,
yes,
I can vouch for that.
Indrapal Singh Saab, I have a small point because I don't want to take much time. See, first of all, what you said about biogas and biomass. See, there are two concepts. One is biogasification, other is biogas. Okay, but both are not environmental friendly. And biogasification is not at all environmental friendly. Actually, it creates greenhouse gas, and it contributes to the climate change. So instead of that, solar power is much better. Wind power is much better. Hydro is much better. Micro hydro and mini hydro. So that point, I am not able to digest it. So first of all, but another thing I had to ask Prasenjit. Now you want to feed street dogs. Very good. You want to keep the street dog population alive. You want to keep the street dog healthy. But for feeding the street dog, you are slaughtering either chicken or the pigeons, stray pigeons, and that is also, I don't think it is a correct approach. So if you want to comment something on that, you can please comment. Otherwise, I will stop it here only.
Our Almighty God is very good. He has created all creatures that they have to live by eating something else, some other being. Our Almighty God snatches away our dear people when their lifespan finishes. So cruelty starts from the Almighty, I suppose. Does that answer your question in a nutshell? I mean, we can talk about it for hours and hours.
Later, not now. Okay, fine. Otherwise, you know, our Kavita ji will put a veto on me. I don't want to. Yes, sir.
We have our honorary secretary, treasurer, Kiran Yadav ji. So I'll request him to unmute himself.
Yeah, thank you. I actually tend to agree with Prasenjit sir for various reasons. You know, I spend a lot of time in the villages nowadays, and I realized that these solutions are cheap, these solutions are easy and very quickly implementable. As far as green gases are concerned, today we are moving to, let us say, veganism, and we are moving to no meat. We have completely stopped cow slaughters. Has that reduced the amount of methane, sir? Every time a cow relieves herself, she releases methane gas into the air. So are we able to control it? Are we able to manage it? The only point, sir, I'm coming back to where, Mr. Indrapalji was coming to the project report that Mr. Prasenjit sir has created. Sir, in the village today, very close to the city like Mumbai, the actual price of milk delivered by a common man to a society ranges between 25 to 30 rupees a liter. So the economics of the project, is something that I think is, I mean, I may be wrong, but to me, it seems it's highly skewed. It doesn't seem to be practical. That's the only comment I would like to make. Thank you.
Now, I'm still working on all the arithmetics with Dr. Jyoti Prakash, who is the technology provider. And what I prepared today was quite a bit of in a hurry. And I went by the prices of milk as we have in West Bengal. And in many other states, I know milk is a lot cheaper. I've stayed some 3 years in Madhya Pradesh in the 90s. And I found milk was quite cheap in Madhya Pradesh. And it was costly at Kolkata. So it varies from place to place.
If I may just add one small auxiliary. In Mumbai city, it used to be a milk city. And if you went anywhere beyond Andheri, Jogeshwari, Goregaon, there used to be a huge number of buffaloes and cows. And that all those tabelas actually got converted into real estate. So I know friends who collected 60 lakh rupees for releasing the space of 10 buffaloes. So that's another way of looking. Sorry, that was just a comment that I wanted to make on the side that yes, milk and milk producers do bring in a value as well. If you bring that into your equation, probably.
But then, sir, if you even discount the milk issue, totally ignore the milk issue. Very high level thoughts have gone into this, and that is why the EOI from HPCL has come out, inviting tenders from individuals and organizations to set up biogas plant under their supervision, and the product would be purchased by HPCL at given rates mentioned already in the EOI. So people are actually working on it. Even if you discount the earning from milk, biogas itself will earn you a lot of money.
A last point, because I am now tempted to speak. These biogas, what HPCL is asking, that is actually municipal solid waste, which is coming out of sewage. So that biogas they are talking about. They are not talking about the cow dung. They are talking about, please try to understand that. Okay, fine. No more discussion on that, please. I want to stop it here only. Otherwise, it will continue. Yes, Kavita ji, please.
Yes. So thank you very much, Prasenjit ji. And it was nice listening to all the three speakers with very different CSR activities that they are undertaking and empowering women, underprivileged society people, blinds and animals. We are enlightened by the speeches of all the three, the passion and the interest that they have taken, and which has converted it as their main career, passion, profession. We salute them. Hats off to all the three for doing a great work. We at Bombay Management Association feel proud that we had all three of you to understand the CSR that the organizations are doing and new opportunities for those who are looking for some new avenues. Thank you, Prasenjit ji, Chaitali Das, and Mahentesh, Dr. Mahentesh, for accepting our invitation and coming to discuss the initiatives and the work that you are doing. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you today at Bombay Management Association's Friday Fundamentals. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I will acknowledge presence of Indrapal ji, Kondap sir, Fernandez sir, Chaya madam, and my colleagues on the executive committee, Honorary Treasurer Dr. Yadav, Vigyan Verma ji, also Indranil Ghosh sir, and our very senior colleague Pramod Bhai. Also, I acknowledge Jagmohan ji in this event. Thank you so much. And we'll stop here. I will just mention that we have on the 21st a lecture by Professor Hugh Munro on refresh, renew, refocus in the challenging environment. It's a BMA masterclass in association with Kohinoor Business School. Do join us at 5:30 on 21st July 2021. Till then, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much. And we will stop here. Goodbye. Have a nice evening.
Good night.
Thank you.